Welcome back. And we're here at the workbench, and Rigs and Techniques is one of my favorite parts of the show, Dave.
Well, we're talking about taking the kids out, and everybody has that story of, when their mom or dad took them to that, little dock or place. I live on the same lake that I put a little worm in, or bread ball. It was probably a bread ball. I live in the same house my grandfather lived in, so I've been on that same dock for a long time. I was on it this morning trying to catch a fish. So, you never know. Things could last for a long time. But to get them out there, you want to start in a place where you have a pretty good chance of success. And a good place in a lot of parks and stuff where you see old ladies feeding ducks and stuff. That's a great place usually to find brim and little shiners and whatnot, anything that'll eat something small. And if you have a little rod like this, and you can give that to a 3-year-old kid. You put a little tiny gold hook on there, a long shank hook, because you can get the long shank hooks out of little tiny fish. When a little fish eats a little tiny hook, it'll go all the way in sometimes. But if you have a long shank, you're able to get it out of them a lot easier, and it's a lot easier for the kids to hold the fish and all that and help you get it out. Little jigs like that work great. That's my little girl uses that exact same little outfit still to this day, even though she's a little older now. Yep, she's grown out of that one, but she still likes to go back to that, and use it. And she still catches bass and little crappie and all kinds of stuff off the dock because it's easy. She can cast a good ways. It was easy to learn how to cast that because with a spin caster, all you do is push the button and let go when you want to.
Right.
And that's a really great way to learn all the mechanics of casting without having to worry about backlashes or spinning reels spinning up the line. So that little spin caster, if you're a first-time parent or whatever, that thing is a great thing to get a little child and have them learn with. And when you're going, always make sure you bring more than one kid if you can. Bring their friends and stuff. It's always more fun when they have more kids to play with instead of just messing with you all the time. They see you all the time, so it's always more fun with them. Plus, they can have a sword fight with two of them. You can't have a sword fight with just one.
They can play in the shrimp bucket or the bait bucket.
Bring plenty of snacks and drinks as usual, and sunscreen, obviously.
Right.
Sunscreen's very important these days. My two kids I mentioned earlier, they're kind of white, and it was hard for them to get out in the sun a lot because they're just very translucent. They're redheaded kids. Yeah. So the sun would cook them.
Your daughter's hair is platinum white.
Yeah, but she can actually tan. The boys are more so just they can't tan at all. But anyway, just keep that in mind when you get out there. Wading is a great thing for kids to do as well once they get up to about 7 or 8 or 9 years old and they're comfortable at going in the water, because you get immersed in the water and there's all kinds of things to see and all kinds of animals to mess with in the water when you're out there wading, because you're in the environment. And that goes a long way into cementing some of those memories and getting them to come and want to go again and again and again.
And don't you agree, as they get a little older, 8 years old to 12 years old, that's when you can put on some artificial bait.
Correct.
And it's not about how they work the lure, but it's about the fact that they're twitching something and their mind is staying busy.
Correct. And a lot of these things you see up here are lures like that spoon and rattle traps and whatnot. You don't really have to do a lot with it. All you have to do is throw it out and reel it back to you, without really jerking it around or a lot. And you still get a whole lot of bites, for redfish and trout or even bass. I love one of the first lures I ever used was a rattle trap. And that was because all I had to do was throw it out and reel it back, and I found success with that.
Yeah,
and once you find a little success with something, you whip it like a dead horse until I better go try something else.
Right.
And crankbaits are good for that. The short-billed crankbaits and spoons and beetle spins, especially when you're a little kid. MEP spinners, all those little things that just spin and you don't have to play with really, just to wind it in.
Good job.
All right.